Microsoft Cloud, like the teams that you're using actually is Microsoft Cloud, and there are also different solutions. So some of the students you may have know the LinkedIn, or you may already have your profile. For some developers, students, you may know that actually we have acquired GitHub like a few years ago, and also other business applications such as our Dynamics Power Platform, all of them are built on top of our Microsoft Cloud, and more importantly, the backbone is the Microsoft Azure. And also, we also open the Microsoft Azure as a cloud infrastructure for different organization, and also like such a big company, say for example like AIA or AXA, that kind of big company actually they have also used our public cloud technology called Microsoft Azure as part of their IT infrastructure. So you can see actually when we talk about Microsoft Cloud or our big step in Microsoft actually is like most of our solution are already put it into the cloud. So, and today I will go deep into or maybe focusing into the Microsoft Azure. We have a like slogan or purpose called Invent with Purpose, because what we want to do is that we leverage our IT technology, and then we provide the IT infrastructure to every organization or every developers and every students to build on top of their solution. So, talking about Microsoft Azure, actually, what I'm saying is, we provide the infrastructure, and for that kind of infrastructure, actually, we call data center regions is already available like more than 60 regions across the world. And in Hong Kong, there is a Azure data center region, and around the world, there are also different Azure data center regions. So you can imagine if you want to leverage Azure public cloud technology, the data center infrastructure, you can always find somewhere which is closest to our Azure region, and there is one in Hong Kong. Okay. And speaking about like how popular that we are, actually there are more than 95% of Fortune 500 those are using Microsoft Azure. Okay, so when we talk about like we provide the IT infrastructure for the organizations to use, so what are those infrastructure about? Actually, we can briefly divide it into three parts. The first one is very basic and core level called the infrastructure. And then you can imagine that we can offer computing power, we can offer the storage for the companies and for developers for students to use. And then one step higher, we also offer some serverless solution. Serverless solution is kind of that we have already built our solution that on top of computing power that you guys can already leverage. Say for example, in today's session, we have already built some AI model that for students you can already use. So which is on top of the computing power already. You can already use some our pre-built algorithm, pre-built technology on top of just renting computing power from us. And one step higher, like is edge devices, which is more related to IoT. We do have different IoT solutions that is built on Azure and which can also be provided for everyone to use. And speaking about the tools, for all this infrastructure, serverless or edge devices that we are providing, where all of them can be integrated into our solution. Say for example, Visual Studio, I believe every developers you have heard of it, and also GitHub. And Power Apps and Power BI is more for a business side, which you may know later when you are step into the working phase. Okay, so and of course, we do have different services that to rent for everyone, but in today session we will focusing in the cognitive services. If we look deep into the data and AI platform, we can also divide it into three areas. The first one is the Microsoft AI services, which is some like what we call our serverless technology that you can already use. Say for example, the main characters here will be cognitive services today, and also if your solution is related to chatbot, you can use Bob service. And if you have some great AI model, AI algorithm that you can want to custom your own AI, we can also provide you our Microsoft Azure machine learning services for you to use. And of course, for some highly customized solution, for those company they may want to use the infrastructure only, we can also provide them this such kind of infrastructure technology. Say for example, different databases, different computing engine, and also different computing power chips, including CPU and GPU. And for the tools, it is also very, I would say, open source. So basically, some commonly used framework, we are all supported and with our Microsoft developed tools to support them. Okay, and um, I and I just provided a very high level overview of what is Azure and our AI technology. And right now, I will go deep into the cognitive services. So this is just a marketing slide that we are providing our pre-built AI technology that over the years we have competed with different public research. We got some recognition from different party. So speaking about the cognitive services, actually what we want to do, what Microsoft is providing is that we have some human-like solution. That's why we call it cognitive services. Actually, it's like what we want to do is you can leverage our computing power, being as a human-like, and then to perform different we would say artificial intelligence action. So for this kind of action, we have further divided it into five pillars. So it's very likely a human-like. Say for example, vision, we can treat a computer to do what a human is seeing, what a human receive and speech, to understand the language, to make decision, and to make intelligent search. And I will go deep into each of the pillars one by one. So during the presentation or my presentation showcase, you can then try to imagine or try to pick some of the cognitive services that you think it is very useful and put it into your project. Okay, so firstly, I will talk about the computer vision first. The first solution that we can offer is the OCR. So OCR actually is the optical character recognition. And then what you can see here is that if you have a image, no matter it is handwritten or it is a plain text or it is just a sign nearby a street, we can as long as you upload the photo, we can use our OCR computer vision algorithm to extract the words here. And the second one, except the OCR, we also have the image analyzers. What it is doing here is that you just need to upload your image here and then leverage our computer vision pre-built model. You can get this is a little bit developer friendly, I would say. But what you can see here is we can provide a briefly description down here. You upload a image, we can say that oh, we can describe as a close-up of food on a plate, and with the confidence score, because we are not 100% sure of the description here, but we can like at least provide a confidence score here for your reference. And we can also provide different description. Say for example, we see there is a food on a table, there are a club cup and coffee, slice, topping, etc. We can give the briefly description of what the image you have uploaded. If you want to build your own image recognition model, say for example, I'm currently trying to recognize something. Say for example, in this example that you want to recognize all the eggs or all the tomato in a photo. We have also provide a solution called custom vision service. Actually, is that you upload your images and then you tell our machine in a website that how our Microsoft technology can help you to recognize things. You need to draw different rectangles here and saying that, oh, I teach you this is a egg and this is a tomato. And after that, you can put it into our machine learning model. We will train it to recognize what is the eggs or what is the tomatoes in on a photo, and then they can know how to do the recognition. So that one solution is called custom vision. Basically, is you upload image, you teach our computer to learn, and then we will provide feedback. And maybe the feedback is good, you can already use that pre-built machine learning model into your projects. And that solution is called custom vision. Okay, this is a very high level of tutorial. Like you need to draw the rectangle, draw the boundaries, and then to teach them how what are the boundaries. And then once you have provided enough training examples, our solution will be able to do some detection with some confidence scores or what we call probability to provide feedback. Okay, so besides some object recognition for computer vision, we do have a face specialist specialty to recognize faces, and we have face detection, face verification, similar face searching, face grouping, and face identification that you can put into your projects. For the first one is like the face detection. Very basically is that you upload an image and then we can tell all the faces inside that the image, the gender, age, wearing glasses or not, what the emotion they are having, and there are much more details actually, more than just this a gray rectangle. And again, it is in a JSON format. So for the developer, you need to decode it and find the useful information that you would like to. We can also like deep down into the hair, say for example the beard and also the sideburns. And then we can do the face verification. You upload two images and then we can tell you whether these two faces are similar or not. See for this example, the confidence level is very low because these two faces are just not the same. And we for the face verification, here is a case that we have worked with Uber. Actually, they have used our cognitive services, the face verification that once the driver pick an order, they need to verify their face as the owner of that Uber account. So to further enhance the security to the passenger. And we can also capture the emotion, surprise, sad, anger, fear, happiness, which is part of the face API. And after the face capture, we can also have some video analytics solution, which is called a video indexer. For video in this indexer, which is also very straightforward to understand, is that you upload a video, we can capture some celebrities inside the videos. For example, Satya, our Microsoft CEO, and his appearance in the videos. You see here in the little black rectangle is the appearance of that person showing in the video. We can also capture the emotions, whether the video it is mostly joy and how percentage of positivity it is. We can also grab some keywords because in this video in this we are not just capturing the faces, we are not just doing the vision, we also do the speech side. So that means if there are some keywords in the video, in the audio, and then we can able to capture it as a keywords in the video indexer. Okay, and the previous one is about the video include which is a plus of speech and the vision. We can also like divide into the speech only, which is our second pillar of the cognitive services API. So in here, you can further what we call is unified speech, and you can use here is about some human-like capabilities. Say, for example, we can convert speech into text and vice versa, text to speech, and also we can do some instant speech translation between two languages. So in here, I would like to give you a example here about the speech recognition. One of our partner, McDonald's, they have used two of our technology. Yeah, the first one is about the speech to text technology that the customer they want to order food for the parking McDonald's, and then they order their food full voice, and then McDonald's use the intelligence to capture what the customer is saying and try to provide them the meal intelligently. So let me show the demo here. Let me know if you cannot hear the voice that I'm playing here.
Good afternoon, welcome to McDonald's. May I take your order? Yes, I would like 2 Happy Meals, 1 cheeseburger and 1 chicken McNugget, both with fries and apples, one with a chocolate milk and one with a small orange juice. Also give me 2 cheeseburgers, both of those no onion and one of those no ketchup as well, 1 fry and a large coffee, 2 cream, 3 sugars. Would you like that fry to be large? Yes, thank you. Would you like barbecue sauce with those nuggets? No, sweet and sour. Is the order on your screen correct? Yes. Okay, your total is $14.68. Please pull around to the first window.
Okay, so actually what the demo that I'm showing here is about we can use the speech to text technology first to capture what the customer is saying, what they would like to order. And then secondly, once we got the text, we also leverage the second solution, which is called a Lewis that I will talk more about later, to capture the intent. We got the test here. Actually, what is the meaning of the test? We further to capture all the meanings here with our language understanding solution called Lewis, and then you can see in the white column here. Actually, we can capture. Oh, the customer is referring to one Happy Meal with these toppings, and the second Happy Meals and with different toppings, and the other food here. So with the speech technology, we can also do the speaker recognition. So basically, is you provide a voice to our cognitive services, and then as a training input, and after that, you can already provide different persons' speech into our speaker recognition, and then we can return whether it is say for example Anna's voice whether it is the voice is belongs to she or not, and to perform the voice verification. We can also do some custom speech. Say for example, you can create. Oh, sorry. You can create your own custom voice with our custom voice solution. That means if you want to create how do I say? We want to create a machine generated voice, and then you can leverage the custom voice solution. Say for example, you can generate a Mickey Mouse voice, and then you can use that to speak to the customer as a intelligence or automated solution. So with that case, you don't need more customer services agent to speak to the customer. You can use this you can use this machine generated voice to speak to the customer with this custom voice solution. Okay, so the speech pass is finished, and then after that we will go into the test analytics. So for the test area, we do have three sub-solution that could be helpful. The first one is about the sentiment analysis. We can also, given a paragraph, we can extract the key phrases in that text. We can also detect what the language actually is from the inputted text. So, this is the language understanding solution that I've just mentioned about in the previous McDonald demonstration. So, what the Lewis is using here is that you again, just like the custom vision, you need to teach our Microsoft AI to learn what you would like to capture from a given test. So say for example, for the McDonald one, actually there is a lot of training teaching our machine, our pre-built AI to recognize if there is a sentence of I would like a cheeseburger, what the Lewis should capture the cheeseburger and then put it as the entity as one. This kind of training you need to provide to the Lewis, and then we can provide active learning, and at the end there will be a higher accuracy of catching what the intent inside the given phrase using Lewis. So this is a example of using Lewis that you need to give a lot of utterance, a lot of training samples to teach our computer to learn. Say for example, given a sentence, book a double room from 8/7 to 30 to the 30th of September. Then the Lewis should be able to capture the room type is double and the period should be July to September. And then this is a translation example. Very interestingly to highlight is that we do support Cantonese translation to English in here as an example. And then for some of the students, if you are going to build a chatbot solution, that we also have a solution called Q&A Maker that you can leverage is that what we can do is if there is a lots of frequently asked questions or if there is some very basic conversation Q&A answer, you can all load it into our Q&A Maker solution. Um, the website is here and then create a knowledge database with all the inputted Q&A that you have provided. Here is the screenshot. And then at the end, from the right hand side here, you can see there is a testing phase here that actually you can already turn all your Q&A or very basic conversational Q&A into a chatbot-alike solution. So you don't need the customer or the end user to look into your Q&A list. They can already ask the chatbot and get the answer that they would like to have. Okay, and finally, the solution is about the Bing search. So I believe most of you should know that Bing is Microsoft search engine. And in Microsoft Azure, you can also leverage our search engine solution to perform different kinds of search. The first one is about the news search. You can provide different inputs. We can return the news based on our Bing search engine. We can also do some visual search. Given your inputted image, we can use our Bing to search all the related images here. And say, for example, for a commercial use case would be that to find some similar image. So this one is that the customer just walked down the streets and saw a beautiful lady wearing this dress and she want to find out whether in our store there's this kind of dress available. So what she needs to do is to take picture of that lady or find some similar image in the web and then upload it into our solution and then we can find some similar images here for her reference. Okay, so I've just performed a very high level or introduction to all the pre-built AI, which is the cognitive services we have in Microsoft. So I hope you may find some AI solution that will be useful in your project. And for more details, you can always go to any search engine and then search Microsoft Cognitive Services. You can have more background and introduction, more details of that. And there's one thing to be highlighted is that if you are doing a chatbot solution, actually you can mix with our different solution available in Microsoft. The first one is the Microsoft Bot Framework, that which is open source a solution that we provided for every developers to build a chatbot based on our bot framework. And once the bot is ready, and if you want to publish it into different channel, say for example, publish it into a website, publish it into Facebook, WhatsApp, and other channels, you can leverage our Azure Bot services to do the channel and deployment. And with our chatbot solution, and actually you can then integrate with all the cognitive services that I have mentioned about and build a very intelligent chatbot where we call it as a conversational AI. For the chatbot, you can integrate with speech. Maybe you can let the chatbot to speak. You can let the customer to using the voice to talk to the chatbot. You can embed it with Lewis, the language understanding, to understand what the end user is saying. You can do the translator to support different languages. So many of the AI that I've mentioned previously actually can be part of the AI elements of a chatbot. Okay, so I've just provided a very high level overview of all the AI that is pre-built and available in our Microsoft Azure. And then the second part of today's sharing is that now I would like to provide a guide for you if you are developers that you would like to use our cognitive services. Actually, it is in API phase, how you can get the resources, how you can get the API key to deploy the cognitive services. And more importantly, because given the limited of time, I cannot show you every cognitive services and with the steps that you can use. Rather I will provide you all the open source learning materials that we are available in the web, and you can always refer back to the websites and find the all the documents that could be helpful for you to kickstart and start using the PPO AI solution. So firstly, there is two important websites that you need to remember and mark it down. The first one is the Azure portal. The website is portal.azure.com. You need to mark it down so that you need to get all the key. When you are trying to leverage the cognitive services, you need to insert a key of the API. So where you can create the key, create the resources, you need to go to our Azure portal, and with our provided username and password for you to get into the Azure portal, and then create the resources that you need and get the API key there. The second website that will be very useful will be the Azure Cognitive Services documentation. For this documentation actually is the solution where you can find all the tutorial and all the samples that you can think of using all of our PBO API. Say for example, the vision, the speech, the text analytics, all of them, how to kickstart any code reference you can always find in the Azure Cognitive Services documentation. So this website is very important as well. So two main website. The first one is the Azure portal, and the second one will be Azure Cognitive Services documentation. And I will also during this presentation will go through the two website with you respectively. So the first one will be the Azure portal. So let me also share. Besides marking down with the website, you can also search with any search engine with the keywords here as a portal, and then you can go to our Microsoft Azure website. So to get into the Azure portal, you need to sign in with your provided Microsoft username and password for this workshop. So I believe you should already have one. And I will quickly show you, just for reference, that in every groups, I have assigned it one as the access rights to the Azure portal. So this list I will share it to you later. So what you can see in the list here is in every team. Actually, there is one person to have the access right to get into the Azure portal. Okay, so the list will be provided later. So back to the sign in. So what you need to do is to sign in with your provided Microsoft account for this workshop. Okay, and when it comes to more information required, you can always click the skip setup for now, just for the workshop. Okay, so once you have signed in successfully, you should be able to go into this Microsoft Azure portal. So actually, this is the portal that for all the organizations, the IT admin, the developers that they can use, including the infrastructure, serverless, and edge device. All the Azure resources are available in this Microsoft Azure portal. So the first task you need to do is to locate um where your resources groups is. Actually, resources groups is a concept that you can treat as a folder that can contain all of your Azure resources. So in this page, you can see I can see all the team here. But actually, when you are signing in with your Microsoft account, you are in this resources group page. You are only able to see your group that you are belong to. Okay, so if you are Team 11 in this page, you are only able to see the Team 11's resources group. And then what you need to do is to click in the resources group that you can go in, and then to click the create button here, because what I'm doing here is to create a cognitive services API here. So once you have clicked into a create a resources, what you need to do is in the search bar here, you need to do the searching of cognitive services. And then you go into this page and then click the create button. You can see some information are preloaded already. Say for example, the subscription and the resources group should be your team respectively. The region would be the East Asia, which is the Hong Kong data center. And then you need to give a name of this solution. Sorry, you need to give a name of this solution. So you can type somewhere meaningful name, or for this workshop you can just random type anything is okay as well. And some rules. So no underscore, and then pricing here, there's only one option, which is the standard. You need to click the acknowledgement, and then you are able to click the blue button, review and create. After the validation is passed, you can click the create button down left corner. So it takes around 10 seconds for the deployment. And when the deployment ready, there's a green little tick here. You can go to the go to resources. So in this page, you need to capture the two very important information here is to go to the keys and endpoints here. And then once you have clicked into the keys and endpoint, you will see there are there's two important information that you need to capture. The first one is the key. No matter key one or key two, it is fine, but you need to copy one of the key. And the second one you need to copy is the endpoint. Because when you are using the API, you need to have the key and the endpoint. So once you have provisioned the resources, remember to capture the copy the keyword and endpoint and paste it somewhere else. And of course, you can always referring back to this page. Oops. So what you can always get back to that cognitive services page is that you go back to the Azure Portal main website, and then in the top search bar you can search cognitive services, and then go into this all cognitive services subpage, and then you can always find back the resources that you have just created. And then click into it, and then click the keys and endpoints, and then you can refer back to the keys and endpoints here. So you can leverage the little button here to help you to perform the copy action. Okay, so this is the first resources that you need to know, and also very important is the portal.azure.com. Okay, so the second one is the Azure Cognitive Services documentation. Because you just got the key, and then the second part is that, oh, where is the coding part? How I can insert the key and the endpoint into the API? Where is the coding that I can leverage? So the second resources that I would like to show you is the Azure Cognitive Services documentation. Okay, so you may scroll down a little bit, or maybe actually if you're using the Google search, the first one should be the answer. So scroll down a little bit, you can see here, Azure Cognitive Services documentation. So you can see actually not just cognitive services, but all of our Azure resources that we do provide a public website documentation that you can always refer back to, and then you can find the tutorial and find the kickstart to know more about the solution. So in here, if you scroll down a little bit, you can see again, just like the pillar that I have present, you can find the pillar that you would like to know more and find the reference code here. For example, vision, language, speech, and decision. So in this example, I will show you, say for example, I want to do the face recognition, or I want to do the image analysis. Then I go to the vision part. So if you're doing object recognition, it is the visual computer vision. If you want to build your own model, it's custom vision. And for face recognition part, it's the face one here. So I will click into the computer vision here. And then you will see the documentation is then switched to the computer vision documentation. So what you need to do is to click into the overview, and then it will be loaded into our main page of the computer vision documentation. So more importantly, you can then find the tutorial here. From the left-hand side, you can see for computer vision, we have divided it into OCR, image analysis, and also the spatial analysis. Say, for example, I want to do the image analysis. Of course, I can click into the image analysis overview to know what it is able to provide you with some examples here. But more importantly, if you have listened to a presentation and you know what you want to use, and then you can already go to the image analysis kickstart the page here. And then, firstly, you need to choose what programming language that I'm using. Say, for example, I use Python, and then I can switch with different language here. Let's say I click Python here, and then there will be some tutorial or what we call Kickstart here to teach you how to use our solution. If you are a Python user, firstly, you need to install the package. We are already provided all the code here. So you can see install the packages and then load the package in your Python script here. And then C, you can find that you need to provide the two variable here. The first one is the subscription key, and the second one is the endpoint. The variable, the string here is actually what you can get from the previously keys and endpoints, the string here. So you copy the string here and then paste it into the code here in your own application. And then you can already start using the image analysis. And then if you scroll down a little bit, there will be a more and more steps telling you about how to use our PPO AI into your program. Say for example, you need to upload your images, which is publicly search available into the public website. So you can see here, actually most of the image URL should be start with HTTPS because it can be be searching across the public websites. And then you can see here is the code about the image description, how you can run the API, how to get the image test, how to detect the objects, detect the brands if there's any, detect the faces inside the image. So you can see there's a very detailed documentation that you can already leverage in this tutorial. Because given the limited period of time, I cannot show you all of the cognitive services that I've just presented. But if you are able to leverage the cognitive services documentation here, it will be a very powerful tools for you to find actually what cognitive services that you are looking into for your projects, and then go deep into that solution. Look for the overview, look for the kickstart, find the programming tutorial here, and put it into your application. Okay, so there's a OCR one, some special one, image one, and if I step back, I can always refer to, oh, actually I want to do the speech. And then you click the speech services, click into the overview, and then you see there is already, again, very similar structure. What we can offer is speech to text, text to speech, speech translation, intent recognition. If I want to do the speech to text, I can of course take a look to the overview, or I can already jump into the Kickstart one. So again, switch to the Python which I'm most familiar, install the packages, paste the key, paste the endpoint. Some of them you may have to paste a region. And if you are required to paste a region, you just need to also copy the region one here, is Asia. Okay. So, and then the script here is already with very detailed description for you to use it into your own application. Okay, so and the final one is that just for your own learning, if you find that the cognitive services here is very useful and you would like to apply it into your daily projects or for projects in the future, we do have some free learning resources for you to learn, but of course it takes time, so you may not find it very useful for this competition, for this hackathon. But yeah, I would also like to show you the learning references. So you can also go back to the cognitive services page here in the Azure portal, and then go to the overview page. And then here you can ask your group mate who is able to access to this Azure portal. And then, and say for example, if I want to deep dive, learn more about the speech solution, you can see besides the documentations here, the below one there is one called courses. Actually, this is from our another open source solution, which is called Microsoft Learn. If you again search the Microsoft learn in your search engine, you can go into this page. Actually, you can share it as a free learning hub, including all of our Microsoft solutions. Say, for example, Azure, Azure AI, and Azure Application Development, and other things that is outside of Azure. Say, for example, Microsoft 365, or Teams administration, Microsoft security. All the things could be learned in this free, open source, open websites here. So what you need to do is you can find top left corner here to find your own interested role. Say, for example, I want to be an AI engineer. And then you can see there's already lots of paths that's available here for you to learn. And then you can click the module that you are interested. Say, for example, I want to build a chatbot. And then this one, build a bot with Q&A Maker and Azure Bot Service would be helpful for you to actually this module is short as well. That means actually with 30 minutes, you are able to know what is Q&A Maker, what is Azure Bot Services, and then you can do your own exercise here to create a bot, to build your own chatbot. Just within, I would say 1 hour, 30 minutes will be a little bit long. So, but within 1 hour, you will be able to capture, to learn how to build a chatbot with our Microsoft solution. So this one, Microsoft Learn, I will also like to introduce to you guys. For later on, if you want to learn more about public cloud, Azure, or AI, you can always go back to the Microsoft Learn, the page here for your own learning. And sorry, if we go back to the cognitive services page here, if there is a shortcut here, again, it's about the Microsoft Learn. And if you can also click the link here, go to the course. We are again referring back to the Microsoft Learn page here. But what we do here is we already filtered some filter some topics that could be helpful for you. Say, for example, you want to learn speech. In this website, we are already go back to the browse or categories to find all the learning path for the module with the filter cognitive services and speech. And then in here, you can find there's lots of learning resources for you to learn just about speech. And then you can find what is the module that you would like to learn. Say, for example, speech recognition here, translate speech here, and also one is the language understanding here. So if you're just learning module by module, the time will be shortened. So you can see here, if I just want to learn Lewis, actually it takes you around a one hour actually. So there may also a possibility for you to learn within this hackathon. Or you can always refer back to the cognitive services documentation to find the kickstart and then start build your own application. Okay, so that's it of my presentation of my sharing right now. So see if you have any inquiries or question that on top of your mind that you would like to ask me.
Thank you, Hugo, for that workshop. Everyone, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them right now. Yeah, we'll have like a couple minutes to ask questions, and then we'll go into a short break before our Thunkable workshop. But yeah, thank you, Hugo. That was really comprehensive, and I'm also very interested in what Microsoft has done with Azure and how companies have applied it.
Hello, Hugo. Could you talk more about the decision side of Azure, the decision section?
Hey, sure. So, oh yeah, sorry. In this presentation, I haven't covered the decision side. So actually, what we can do in the decision cognitive services side here is about, I'll say two area here would be very useful. The first one is the anomaly detector. which is the given a series of information here. So we can find some abnormal thing here. So given one example is that when you are, say for example, with a given period of um, voice, if you are singing and then suddenly you went to a very high pitch, and then with this anomaly detector, it is able to capture the high pitch, pitch, and saying that it is abnormal. And the third one here, the content moderator, is that actually we can capture the sensitive words. Say, for example, the foul language inside a text, and then we can capture it and moderate it to a more just to delete the foul language or any sensitive languages with this content moderator. So again, you can also, sorry, this one is very annoying. One second. You can also find the decision services here in the in the Microsoft documentation as well. So the decision one is more like how you can find abnormal things. Maybe let me go back to my favorite search engine. Cognitive services decision. Say for example, this one content moderator. Yep. Say for example, this one content moderator is belongs to one of the decision making side. What you can do is a part of text moderation. There's more updates. What we can do now is the image moderation, video moderation, and of course you need to teach the machine that what you would like to moderate. And this is kind of the decision intelligence that the cognitive services is able to do. Or the second one is like the anomaly detector.
Hugo, I've put up the links to the anomaly detector API docs and also the interactive guide in the chat box. See if you want to make use of that.
Yeah, sure, but I don't know why I'm just not able to access the chat room actually. But yeah, so for the anomaly detector, say for example, it can be done for some time series analysis. So you can see here, given a time series input, we are able to capture the anomalous point here, abnormal points, and there's pitch or the voice example that I have just shown, which is also to be able to capture the abnormal pattern here. So also thanks Ben for putting the links. So for the students, you can also find the documentation or the Kickstart guide there.